The journey of capturing the swordfish has always been one of challenge tense, demanding, yet profoundly exhilarating. For seasoned fishermen, the hunt for this creature is not merely an act of labor, but a pursuit that tests the very core of human endurance. The swordfish, known for its long, slender body and astonishing speed, can surge through the water at dozens of nautical miles per hour. To conquer such a creature has never been an easy task. From the very moment the vessel leaves the dock, cutting across the silent harbor and into the open blue, the crew knows what awaits them: waves, distance, and an unspoken contest between man and the living sea. They are fully prepared, boots tight, gear packed, bait stored, lines coiled, and rods gleaming under the first light of dawn. Each movement aboard the ship carries purpose. Every breath carries anticipation. Swordfish often dwell near the ocean's surface, where schools of smaller fish shimmer and scatter like silver dust, their presence both camouflage and lure. The fishermen scan the water carefully, eyes fixed on the horizon, searching for signs: the sudden plunge of seabirds, the flicker of sardines or mackerel, the subtle shift of current. These are the clues that predict where the swordfish will rise. Once a promising region is chosen, the heavy rods are cast into the water. The bait's small tuna or fresh squid glistens under the sun before sinking into the deep. Every hook carries a silent prayer. Every cast is a gamble with fate. The crew waits. Time slows. The waves murmur softly, then rise, then fall again. Some men sit quietly, watching the rhythm of the line. Others grip the rods, hands ready. Because when the swordfish bites, there is no warning, only a violent pull, sudden and absolute. When it happens, everything changes. The line tightens instantly. The rod bends with force so great that it seems ready to snap. That moment, that strike, announces the beginning of the true battle. The swordfish is known for its ferocity and cunning. It leaps from the water, body twisting in a blaze of silver and blue, its long, muscular bill cutting through the sunlight. Then, with an explosive splash, it plunges back into the sea, trying to shake off the hook and escape into the depths. The fisherman holding the rod must balance strength and precision, tightening the line, then releasing just enough to prevent it from breaking. It is a dance of tension and instinct. One mistake, one slip, and the fish will be gone, leaving only the sound of waves and the echo of loss. The fight can last for hours under the burning sun and crashing waves. Sweat mingles with salt. Hands bleu. Muscles tremblent. The sea roars like a living beast, testing the courage of every man aboard. As the battle continues, the swordfish weakens, its movements slower, but its spirit remains unbroken. Even in its final struggle, it fights with beauty, a living symbol of power, freedom, and resistance. It demands patience, skill, and endurance from those who dare to face it. When at last the swordfish begins to yield, the crew must act together, synchronized, steady, each man taking his place in the ritual of victory. Ropes are thrown, hooks set, and with a final heave, the great fish is lifted onto the deck. Its body, over 3 meters long, glistens under the sunlight, silver, blue, and radiant. For a moment, silence fills the air. Then cheers erupt, echoing across the sea. The victory is not just a catch, it is a triumph of will, a reward for hours of relentless struggle. Catching a swordfish is never just a physical feat. It is a contest of endurance, intelligence, and respect, a dialogue between man and nature. Each battle is an encounter with something far greater than oneself. When fishermen conquer this legendary creature, they do not merely earn pride. They reaffirm the timeless human desire to reach into the wild sea and master it. But the journey does not end with victory. Behind every great catch lies a story, a mosaic of sweat, patience, and unspoken reverence. On the deck, as the swordfish is dragged aboard, the crew moves swiftly. Someone shouts for the scale. Another records the weight and length. Photographs are taken, proof of triumph, tokens of memory. The fish's metallic skin gleams, its blade-like bill catching the sun like a warrior's sword. For many fishermen, the swordfish is more than a source of income. It is a symbol of courage, endurance, and strength. To them, it embodies the spirit of those who dare to challenge the vast, unpredictable ocean. In the language of seafaring men, The swordfish is a gem of the deep, rare, beautiful, and hard-won. On this deck, every movement carries meaning. Here, muscles are not the only measure of success. Skill, patience, and strategy matter just as much. For in this pursuit, even the smallest mistake, a tangled line, a loose knot, a premature pull, could mean losing everything. A broken line, a slipped hook, and the great fish would vanish into the blue, leaving behind silence and regret. When the battle is done and the boat heads home, laughter fills the air. Victories are retold between bursts of salt wind and roaring engines. But amid the celebration, some fishermen sit quietly by the rail, gazing out at the sea. Their eyes carry reflection, remembering every moment of struggle, every heartbeat of the fight. It is in those quiet moments that they feel it most, the smallness of man before the vastness of the ocean, and yet the pride of having faced it and won. That is the paradox of the sea. It humbles and it exalts. It wounds and it blesses. Season after season, this journey repeats itself. Year after year, the chase for swordfish becomes more than a profession. It becomes a tradition, an immortal rhythm in the lives of deep-sea fishermen. They believe that to conquer the swordfish is not merely to earn a living, but to connect one's very blood and soul to the ocean's boundless expanse. Some voyages last weeks, the men adrift in the open sea, battling wind, exhaustion, and silence, sometimes without a single strike. Only the whisper of waves and the weight of waiting accompany them. But these empty days carve patience into their bones and courage into their hearts. Because the swordfish does not yield easily. Every tail flick, every leap above the water is a challenge, a declaration of wild freedom that stirs the hunters' hearts. It keeps them coming back, season after season, storm after storm. In the dark heart of the ocean night, the deck glows under the lantern's light. The fishermen sit together, telling stories around makeshift stoves and flickering flames. Each tale of victory, of loss, of close calls becomes part of the folklore of the sea. When dawn finally returns and the horizon burns gold once more, their hopes rise with the tide. A single strike, one flash of silver in the deep, and the story begins again. Crossing the coastline with a swordfish aboard means more than just profit. It is proof of human courage, of unyielding will. The creature that once ruled the deep now hangs above the deck, silent yet magnificent, a testament to the unbreakable spirit of those who live by the sea. Catching a swordfish is never just about livelihood. It is an epic, a living poem of resistance, endurance, and respect between man and the ocean. Every voyage begins a new chapter of this unwritten saga. Each departure from the familiar harbor carries the same mixture of excitement and fear, the knowledge that beyond the horizon lies both danger and destiny. From towering waves to freezing northern winds, from sudden tempests that could sweep the vessel away, the fishermen face them all. Their passion and hunger for triumph drive them forward. They are ready to meet whatever the sea has in store. To catch a swordfish requires more than skill. It is a delicate balance between experience and luck, patience and instinct. Sometimes, the fish appears without warning, leaping from the waves beside the boat, flashing under the sun, filling the crew with shouts of awe and joy. Other times, days pass in silence, the lines untouched, the sea holding its breath. But even in stillness, hope never leaves them. In this endless dance, every victory is an eruption of joy, and every loss a quiet reminder that the sea is not to be conquered easily. It humbles even the strongest, yet it keeps calling them back. And so, the story of the swordfish becomes a symbol of pride, a legend carried on the waves, from one generation to the next. It honors the power of nature and the will of man. As time drifts on, the journey of catching swordfish has become more than survival. It has become a culture, a living rhythm that binds entire coastal communities together. Children grow up on the sand, listening to their fathers and grandfathers tell stories of the sea of monstrous fish that fought with fury, of battles that stretched into the night. In their young eyes glows a quiet flame, a longing to hold the rod themselves one day, to face the mighty creature their ancestors spoke of. Old men sit by the harbor, their faces carved by wind and salt, recalling the old ways of fishing. They speak of times when boats were small and rough, when lines were made of hemp or hand-twisted rope. Yet even then, They conquered fish weighing hundreds of kilograms, guided by instinct, courage, and the whisper of the tides. Today, with the rise of technology, the boats are stronger. GPS, sonar, radar, and rods of carbon fiber stand where old tools once did. But something remains unchanged: the soul of the fishermen and their reverence for the sea. They still bow their heads before departure, still whisper a silent prayer for calm waters and safe return. The ocean, to them, is not merely a battlefield. It is both enemy and friend, fierce and forgiving, a force that tests and teaches. In the fishermen's homes, photographs hang on the walls, images of men standing proudly beside massive swordfish, their arms raised in triumph. These pictures are not trophies, but sacred records of endurance and identity. Every village along the coast carries these legends. In festivals, stories of swordfish hunts are retold in laughter and song. The elders recount how, long ago, they battled the great fish with little more than ropes and courage. The young listen, eyes wide, their dreams swelling like the tide. Through generations, this ritual of pursuit has continued unchanged in spirit, even as the world around them transformed. The swordfish has become more than a creature of the sea. It is a bridge between past and present, between human determination and the mysteries of nature. In some voyages, weeks pass without a single catch. The men sit under gray skies, waves rising like mountains around them, their hands rough and blistered. But in these moments of hardship, their spirits are forged anew. Failure teaches them what no victory can: patience, humility, and respect. The swordfish is not easily tamed. Every flick of its tail, every violent twist beneath the surface, is a message from the wild. You are in my world now. And yet, the fishermen answer, not with fear, but with resolve. They know that every challenge at sea sharpens their hearts, that courage grows not in calm waters, but in storms. At night, when the sea darkens into silence, they listen to the rhythmic slap of waves against the hull. They stare into the black horizon and understand something eternal: that the ocean is not a place of cruelty, but of truth. It gives, it takes, and it reminds. Morning comes again. The sun spills across the waves, and sails fill with wind. A new day begins, another journey unfolds. This cycle of departure, struggle, and return is the eternal heartbeat of coastal life. And through it all, the swordfish remains a test, a teacher, a mirror of human will. For the fishermen, it is more than profit, more than glory. It is proof that they still belong to the sea, that their spirit still breathes with the rhythm of the tides. On every deck, the marks of this life are visible: calloused palms, salt-cracked skin, and scars etched like maps of memory. Each wound tells a story not of pain, but of honor. They are the silent medals of those who have wrestled with the sea and lived to tell the tale. For these men, the swordfish is not merely a prize. It is a measure of courage. It is the unspoken question they ask themselves every time they cast their lines: am I still strong enough to face the sea? And when they return, with sunburned faces and weary smiles, they carry more than fish. They bring home pride, stories, and the unbroken bond between man and ocean. Years pass. Decades drift by like waves fading into the horizon. Yet the journey of catching swordfish never disappears, it endures. Carved deep into the heart of every coastal village, sung in their festivals, whispered in their prayers. In small fishing towns, when the fleet returns after long weeks at sea, the air fills with celebration. Children run along the shore, their laughter mingling with the cry of gulls. Women stand on the docks, shading their eyes against the glare, waiting for the first glimpse of the boats. And when they see the massive swordfish hanging from the crane, shimmering under the sun, a cheer ripples through the crowd. The entire village gathers, old and young, fishermen and families, to witness the moment. It is more than a catch. It is a reunion with the sea, a ritual of pride and gratitude. Those who took part in the voyage recount every moment: the first strike, the fierce struggle, the moment when the line almost snapped. Their voices tremble with excitement as they relive each heartbeat of the battle. For them, the swordfish is not just a trophy, it is proof of unity, of endurance, of the courage that binds them together. And when the night falls, songs rise along the coast. Stories are told beside fires and lanterns, sometimes with laughter as loud as the waves, sometimes with the soft hush of the sea breeze. Young people listen wide-eyed, imagining the day they too will face the mighty fish. The elders nod quietly, remembering their youth, their strength, their time upon the open sea. Swordfish have given these villages more than sustenance. They have given them identity. In every coastal town, the legend lives on in music, in paintings, in poems recited by the firelight. The fish has become a symbol not just of the ocean's power, but of humanity's courage to meet it. Some call the swordfish the warrior of the sea, and the fishermen its noble challengers. For centuries, they have met on equal terms, strength against strength, will against will. This battle, repeated across generations, has shaped the soul of those who live by the tide. Even as modern life transforms their world, as boats grow larger, as tools grow stronger, as cities rise behind the dunes, the spirit of the hunt remains untouched. No machine can replace the pulse of a man's heart when the line tightens and the sea begins to fight back. That moment when human and ocean meet in pure tension is what defines them. Many of these men grow old by the sea, their hair turning white like the foam of the waves. Yet in their eyes, the same fire burns the unforgotten passion of those who once wrestled giants in the deep. Their homes are lined with faded photos, them in their youth, standing beside the massive swordfish that tested their strength and became part of their legend. Every scar on their hands is a chapter. Every memory a tide that returns with the smell of salt and wind. Though time has softened their bodies, the ocean still calls to them in dreams, in wind, in the rhythm of the surf. The story of the swordfish has become not just history, but heritage, an immortal thread connecting past to future. Each generation inherits not just the nets and rods, but the faith that man and sea must always coexist, bound by respect, courage, and longing. When the sea is calm, the elders often sit on the dunes, staring toward the horizon where sky and water meet. The waves shimmer, endless and eternal. There, they find peace not in possession, but in belonging. They know the sea cannot be owned, only understood. And to understand it, one must live it, breathe it, and sometimes bleed for it. To them, the journey to capture a swordfish is never just about profit. It is a way to test the soul, to prove that mankind can endure and rise above the storm. Each voyage becomes a dialogue between will and wilderness, between fragility and force. At night, as waves strike gently against the wooden hulls, they listen. The sea speaks not with words, but with lessons. It teaches patience. It teaches humility. It teaches the sacred truth that every drop of sweat shed at sea becomes a part of its eternal memory. And when dawn breaks again, sails unfurl like wings. Engines hum. The boats depart once more, following the ancient call. Each journey is both an ending and a beginning, a thread in the endless epic between man and ocean. As dawn rises over the open sea once more, the circle of life continues. The men set sail again into wind, salt, and mystery, chasing not just fish, but meaning. For them, each journey is a communion with the ocean, a test of endurance, and an affirmation of existence. Every swordfish they encounter is more than a creature. It is a mirror of human will, a fragment of the sea's immortal spirit. The struggle between man and ocean is not about domination. It is about balance, respect, and the eternal yearning to connect with something vast and untamed. Back in the villages, the homecoming is sacred. When the great swordfish is lifted from the boat, its gleaming body catches the morning light, and for a moment, time stands still. Children run along the pier, their laughter echoing between the waves. Elders smile in quiet recognition, for they have seen this triumph before and they know what it cost. Every catch is celebrated, but every scar remembered. The stories told that night will be carried on the wind, retold 1,000 times, woven into songs and whispers. Through these stories, the fishermen's courage is immortalized, their names spoken in reverence long after the tides erase their footprints from the sand. Génération passe, but the legacy endures. The journey of capturing swordfish becomes the soul of these villages, a heritage that connects those who came before with those who are yet to set sail. It is the rhythm of heartbeats aligned with the rhythm of waves. The tides rise and fall, but the human spirit remains. In the quiet of evening, when the sun bleeds red into the sea, fishermen sit by the docks, eyes reflecting the fading light. They do not speak much, they do not need to. The sea speaks for them, whispering stories in the sound of surf and wind. It reminds them of everything they have lost and everything they have gained. Even now, in the age of machines and satellites, the desire to face the ocean endures. Boats may grow larger, rods may grow stronger, but courage, true courage, remains the same. It is the fire that burns quietly within those who dare to stand at the edge of the world and cast their line into the unknown. And so, each voyage becomes more than a job. It becomes a prayer, a song of the human heart to the vast, mysterious sea. A declaration that we are still here, still listening, still learning, still reaching. The swordfish, shining like liquid silver in the morning light, will always be more than a trophy. It is a symbol of resilience, unity, and reverence. In its image lives the reflection of humanity's endless quest to understand the forces that shape us and the nature that humbles us. For every fisherman who has faced the storm, for every hand scarred by rope and salt, for every heart that beats in rhythm with the sea, this journey is not over. It continues, wave after wave, teed after teed, generation after generation. Until the end of time, the story of the swordfish will remain not merely as a tale of the hunt, but as a hymn to endurance, faith, and the fragile beauty of life beside the ocean. And when the boats return at last, sails folded, decks washed clean, and the scent of salt heavy in the air, one truth endures: that man and sea will always belong to one another, not as conqueror and conquered, but as companions in the eternal dance of survival and wonder. The swordfish glistens under the setting sun, and the village gathers once more to honor not just the fish, but the journey itself. Because in the end, it is not the catch that matters most. It is the courage to face the unknown, the patience to endure the storms, and the grace to stand before the ocean, humbled but unbroken. So when you next watch the sea, when you hear the wind whisper across the waves, remember the men who still chase legends, whose hearts beat with the pulse of the tide. And if their story moves you, then carry it forward. Like, share, and subscribe, not for fame, but to keep their voices alive. Because somewhere, beyond the horizon, another journey has just begun.